Hi, Fiction Recapped here. Today, I will explain the action comedy movie called Free Guy. Spoilers ahead, watch out and take care. The opening scene of the movie shows a city that the narrator describes as paradise, even though absolute chaos rules, and that at the top of the food chain are sunglasses people, who he even describes as heroes. Then we are introduced to the narrator, called simply Guy. He does his morning routine and goes to work at the bank alongside his best friend Buddy. While they chat, bank robbers interrupt them, and the two casually hide behind the counter, continuing their conversation about Guy finding the perfect woman, even though Buddy mocks him about it. Meanwhile, a mysterious woman with sunglasses meets up with a man whose face is completely covered. They seem to have a deal about him giving her some sort of video recording, and after she gets it, she kills him. Later on, while Guy and Buddy are walking around the town for their lunch break, Guy sees the mysterious woman and is enthralled by her. He goes after her, ignoring Buddy's warnings not to. Before Guy can reach her, he gets hit by a train. As the scene cuts to the mysterious woman, we see that she's actually a character in the video game called Free City, alongside everyone we saw up until now, played by Millie Rusk, who's suing the publisher of the game and uses information from it as evidence. Meanwhile, back in the game, Guy tries to change his routine, but from the hostile reactions of other people around him, plays it off as a joke. At work, during yet another bank robbery, he sees Millie's character, Molotov Girl, outside. He decides to go after her and manages to take the sunglasses from one of the bank robbers, which reveals to him what the game actually looks like to players, considering that he's just an NPC. During that, the developers of the game, Walter Keys McKee and Mauser, find out about Guy stealing the glasses from another player and believe it's a hacker, so they go into the game to catch him that way. They find Guy by the train tracks he got hit at previously, where he sees a door that wasn't there before due to him now wearing glasses. Keys and Mauser try to intimidate him into answering their question, but after, because of his confusion, he doesn't answer, they try to shoot him. He narrowly escapes and a chase ensues, Guy escaping them by using the sneakers he previously bought that seem to give him a power-up. But before he can actually get to safety, the two hit him with the car they were in. Mauser believes that they got rid of the character, but Keys is still skeptical. The scene cuts to an interview Keys and Millie are having for a game called Life Itself, which reveals that they previously worked together before separating. It's shown that the interview is being played on Keys' TV in his home, where Millie is waiting for him. She tries to convince him to help her with her lawsuit that centers around the creator of Free City, Antoine, stealing their code for their game, but Keys simply tells her that she needs to leave. Millie goes back into the game to try and get proper evidence at a well-guarded compound that another player in the game owns. She's surprised by Guy, who was looking for her, but the two are interrupted by guards, yet manage to escape due to Millie opening a portal and getting them to her hideout. She tells Guy that she won't accept his help until he levels up, which causes him to rapidly progress in the game, simply by stopping other players from wreaking havoc. As he's doing so, he becomes an internet sensation in real life, where people are trying to figure out who Guy exactly is. He goes back to work and tries to get Buddy to join him and live his life better. He even offers him a pair of glasses he takes from a robber that walked in, but Buddy refuses. Meanwhile, Millie, who managed to get Keys to help her in the end, goes back to the compound and manages to find the proof she needs, but before she can leave, gets caught by guards. Luckily, Guy shows up and helps her beat them, the two escaping by jumping out the window, leaving the video recording behind. At the HQ of Free City's publishing house, Tsunami Games, Antoine shows up and Keys, due to Antoine's arrogant attitude, starts liking working for him less and less. Back in Free City, Guy and Millie hang out and notice similarities between them, like favorite ice cream flavors. Millie opens up to him about her past and the two kiss, but Millie leaves soon after due to Keys coming to her apartment. Keys explains that the code from Life Itself is used in Free City like Millie suspected, and that Guy is an example of that, because he's simply an NPC with a developed enough code for him to be self-aware. Millie is distraught by that because she likes Guy. The two joke about it before Keys realizes that Antoine will delete Free City alongside Guy and their code with the release of the sequel. This causes Millie to be forced to tell Guy that he's just a part of a game, in hopes he'll help them, but he's devastated by the realization and goes to Buddy's place for comfort. Buddy gives him advice and Guy feels better, and the two get inside the compound to find proof of the coding Millie asked for. The owner of the compound is ecstatic to see Guy because he's his fan and gives him the recording without a problem, so Guy goes back to Millie and gives her the evidence. Meanwhile, in the real life, Antoine is angry due to people paying more attention to Guy than the sequel of Free City, and decides to reboot the game so Guy loses his self-awareness. In the game, Guy and Millie are going through the footage, and Guy says he saw the place in it, but the reboot starts and the game goes offline. When Free City comes back, Millie tries to get Guy to remember, but due to the reboot, he dismisses her. Thankfully, Keys helps her by sending her a guide on how to get Guy's memory back, explaining that he became self-aware because of her, due to Keys making Guy's perfect woman similar to Millie. She uses that information and gets back in the game, where she finds Guy and kisses him, making him remember everything. Guy shows Millie where the place from the recording is. Unfortunately, it's beyond the beach, where the players can't go through, but Keys figures out what to do. In the game, Guy gets the other NPCs to become self-aware, which causes all of them to protest and the game to stop. The public is confused by this, and Antoine orders Mauser to ban Millie after figuring out she's behind it. But after he can't do it, he tells him to kill Millie in the game by destroying everything in it. Millie and Guy manage to escape the system collapsing with Keys' help, before he gets caught by guards and is fired. Luckily, he manages to make a bridge that the two will use to cross the ocean and get to the place that represents the build from life itself, as well as activating the stream that will allow other players to watch what's happening. Unfortunately, Mauser reboots all the players and Guy is left alone to fight a new character Antoine ordered to be put in the game, called Dude. Buddy comes to save him and the two manage to beat Dude with Guy putting his sunglasses on him, which distracts him. Buddy and Guy try to get across the bridge, but Antoine decides to completely destroy the servers, which causes the game to collapse. Buddy gets deleted before he can get to the other side with Guy, and he barely manages to cross the bridge, revealing the build for life itself. Meanwhile, Millie makes a deal with Antoine to abandon the lawsuit so he doesn't fully destroy the servers. In the next scene, we see a report of Antoine being arrested for what he has done, while Millie, Keys, and Mauser are developing a reboot of life itself, now named Free Life, that turned out to be quite popular amongst players. Inside it, Millie says her goodbyes to Guy, who tells her that the person who made his coding is the one who Millie should be with. Millie realizes it's Keys and the two kiss. Back in the game, Guy is sad because he misses Buddy, but soon after sees him on the street, and the movie ends with the two walking off together, finally able to do whatever they want with their artificial lives. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out. Thanks for watching.